Hello and welcome to Alternate Image Gaming. We're going to be doing an Elyon video today going into the first dimensional portal. This one is called the Dragon Garden. It's designed for players at least level 35. Now the first thing I discovered here is that it costs gold to get in, but not a terrible amount of gold, so it's fine. And the interface either direction, you can go to the portal via this go to portal entrance. It costs you 500 gold, it takes you there. But even when you get there, you still have to actually click on the portal entrance, which can send you back to the other interface. You go to this point, you detailed info again, takes you to the same place that the other menu takes you to. So you say yes, it brings you right in. It's worth noting here that you can come with a group or do this solo. I noticed there was a couple of repeatable quests when you get in. They just require that you kill a certain amount of the enemies. And then there's a couple other quests or something that were higher than my level of 35 at the time. And another repeatable quest. This one for killing other players. So there's one PVE quest and one PvP quest in here. A vendor, so you can sell your junk and get prepared by some consumables. I sold my junk and repaired before I went to get going, and then I checked it out.
You can't ride a mount in this region.
The pathing doesn't really allow you to take any shortcuts. This is a very linear process. There are a couple places where there's different paths to go to the similar result, but for the most part you're going on a fairly straightforward jaunt. You can see from the mini-map there that's up on the screen, I believe the two sides are for the different factions, but otherwise this is just a bit of killing a bunch of these dragons. You see I have a ton of them on this quest to kill, so I farmed them for a while. It's pretty nice. I'll give you a few seconds of kind of watching the general combat, and then we'll skip to the next section of the quest. See, this is just another floor, another level of the same type of mobs. There are some larger mobs up here, but we're going to cut forward again because this is still the same portion of the quest. The next portion, surprisingly very similar though. So the next bit of the quest here is just to kill 3 of the larger dragons, of which if you've already moved up to this platform, you'll have killed a couple of them as I already have. So it seems to be designed that you stay on the first platform, you wait for the farming of the original little red dragons, you kill a bunch of them, then you come up to this platform, and you're going to kill 3 of these large red dragons. Now, I didn't mention before, you break the dragons out of their eggs. It does seem that they might be able to hatch on their own. I'm not sure if that guy hit them on the way by, but that's pretty much it. We're just going to farm now 3 of these larger red dragons. Again, I'll give you a few seconds of this gunner gameplay showing me taking down one of these 2 dragons, and then we'll skip up to the next portion of the quest. So after killing an abundance more of the red dragon there just for the funds and the experience, the quest now sends me to kill 50 ice dragons. So I start running over that way, and there's, well, a bunch more red dragons to fight. Really, if you knew this and didn't stop, you could probably go to each step, just killing dragons along the way, and get enough dragons. Here is the ice or blue dragon area. Again, it's pretty similar to the first bit. Their abilities function pretty close to the fire ones, although they have a couple different variations. So I'll again give it just a little bit of time to see the farming of these. I'll skip to the next portion of the quest, which, spoiler, is killing a couple of the large dragons, of which I will have already killed several of and not gotten the credit for. And then we'll show you the next part.
Not enough stamina.
Now you'll see that the quest has given me the chance to kill 3 of the large dragons. Pretty much rinse and repeat of the fire dragon section. We sit here, we farm up enough of this type of dragon as well. Again, as with the previous, I'll give you a few seconds of getting to check out that particular combat, and then we'll skip on to the next portion of this portal. Now again, we're sent to the next type of dragon. It is a rinse and repeat. Kill 50 of the poison or green type dragons. And as with the last, had I not stopped and farmed one area, it actually would have been a little bit better of an experience, because there's more and more packs, and this one has some environmental effects. So you don't need to stop and try to finish your quest in one place. Just continue on through the portal, keep going through this dungeon-like thing, and you'll probably get enough of all the pieces. This one adds another kind of little mob in there, like an ice golem type creature that doesn't actually serve any purpose to this particular quest. But it shows a little diversity as you go through. They are pretty similar in terms of their, mob composition. You have the little dragons, the big dragons, a couple of environmental effects. In this case, one of these golem types. But now I've reached the poison dragon area. So again, I have to kill 50 of these. And this is where it became kind of troubling. So this is really the part to pay attention to. Because as you notice, my health is dropping. I have a poison debuff on me. And I did not notice the debuff. So as I'm running in here attacking all this stuff, I'm assuming, okay, not really that big of a deal. I must have taken aggro and I'm taking some damage, but it's fine. Generally speaking, as we've seen all the previous fights, none of the dragons really pose much of a threat. Bounce away, heal up, use a potion. Not a big deal. I'm like, okay, I'm getting hurt. I'm going to run away from those fights. And I think I'm safe, but now I'm not being attacked. So I'm certain right here that I'm safe. Again, not seeing this poison debuff. So my health continues to drop. I'm not healing up from anything. So I'm just dying and dying, and I don't know what it is. At this point, actually, even upon the death, I didn't realize it was a poison debuff. I assumed that it was some sort of a reflect damage. I did skip the run back. You have to run the entire way back to where it is. It takes a couple of minutes. Dying becomes a little bit tedious in this place. Again, I'm still going with the effect that it might be some kind of reflect, but now I'm starting to notice the health is just dropping. This area becomes a lot harder without some sort of a heal. The potions don't come up often enough to offset the poison damage. So as you go into to fight these particular guys, This is probably where having some kind of a group would come in, or switching to, if you have any abilities or attributes that have some kind of a self-heal or leech effect. I don't know how many classes have something like that available. Then again, there's also probably stronger potions or some kind of resistance you can get to this poison effect. But this is the area to be prepared for. So if you're not coming prepared to this particular section of this dungeon, it's going to be very slow. Because, and there it is where I noticed the poison. It's going to be very slow because you have to leave that area, heal up, rinse and repeat this. I'm going to kind of skip through this one a little bit faster than the other ones, but I'm going to show you some of the battles. Again, after I kill 50 of the little ones, it's going to have me kill 3 big ones. These big ones are a little bit different. They're not just a giant dragon like these are. They are physically larger too, but they're probably more dangerous than the rest. This does get progressively harder as it goes on. So we're gonna cut through a couple of times, let you see a little bit of that. I'll stop and talk a little bit more when we get to the larger the poison dragons. But again, this is the part that really need to pay attention to for this dungeon. Bit of the tactic, using a lot of extra potions proactively. And now I only have to kill one. Not enough stamina. Or venom-making poison dragons. Either way, larger poison dragon, but only one, not 3. So these become kind of even more of a challenge because they actually do damage. Then when you add the passive poison damage that goes along with it, it becomes a bit of a struggle. So I'm hoping to use the benefit of some other people fighting them to possibly kill one of these. We're going to get in a fight. See the poison damage taken down pretty quick. I don't know if it's really related to the monsters at all, but it does passively tick regardless of if you're fighting or not. It does seem to hit a lot harder when fighting that giant poison dragon. Now you notice I didn't get credit for that one. I probably didn't do enough damage, which is really my bad at that point. I ran away. At this point, I'm hoping to see if I can push past the poison area, maybe past this point. Jokes, yeah, you can't. There is a bunch of the big ones to fight potentially, but the poison just continues. Running forward just equals death. Obviously, it's too late for me to run back, even though I sort of tried that. So here I'm going to die again for a second time, which is really sad because there was one that was almost weak right there that I could have had a chance to tackle. This is a really frustrating part of this. So again, coming into this area with preparation, being aware of what you're getting into, is going to be the key to get past this particular point of the dungeon. Coming in blind like I did, not really recommended. So I go in here and I'm gonna look for another big one, and we'll see how that plays out, and I finish the quest. So after a couple more minutes of running around, one of these big ones managed to spawn, and then a second one, which is kind of scary because again, passive ticking poison damage, and then these ones actually hurt. There's a reason you only are asked to kill one. But I'm prepared, full health. Got some extra potions the last time I died at the vendor. Now I'm about to start. The hit, not necessarily that much harder than most other elite things, but it's difficult to counter when you're dealing with such aggressive poison damage. This particular guy right here really frustrated me because that one was dead. and he ran away until it reached back. Fortunately, the other one there died, thanks to this Slayer here who's running off, and I got credit for the quest. Now that finished all of the player versus environment side of the quest here. There is the quest to kill some other players left, of which I didn't actually see any players who were inherently flagged here to be fighting. That's probably something I could specifically opt into, but with as literally toxic as that last zone is, that sounds really awful. And through that whole thing, it took almost half the time that I had available to be in there, because you can only be in there an hour at a time. And that is the first dimensional portal. Again, if you liked this video, if you found it interesting at all, if you want to see more of these type of dungeons between this, Lost Ark, and other games, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that sort of thing. It definitely helped the channel, and that's the only way you're going to be able to see more of this content. So have fun.